President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has described his 1 year in office as being an excellent one. In fact, he said that his administration met Nigeria bleeding, and they have stopped the bleeding, and they will make sure that it doesn't bleed to death. Yes, I remember I put up a short video some days ago to um, get your opinions regarding President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Well, I guess that a lot of people have just decided to remain silent and not to talk because I know a lot of people are angry. I know a lot of people are hungry, and it has the case is so worse. It's so bad that in describing it, there's no way that you will probably, or some people or lots of people will not abuse words. You well, those that responded ironically, and some used idioms, and then lots of coverings because the situation of the country at the moment is not palatable, and that's affecting quite a lot of Nigerians. It has led to a lot of people leaving the country in the last 1 year. I mean, it's been terrible, and it was so bad that the federal government had to come up with all sort of policies to keep people, to force people to stay, especially those who work in the medical line and all of that. And so, the situation of the country has forced so many into their cocoon and made it difficult for them to even comment, because commenting, like I said earlier on, there's no way you will comment about Nigeria's situation and you will not step on toes. You understand? There's no way you will want to say it as it is, and you will not be afraid of your head, being ripped off. It's so unfortunate where we find ourselves as a country. Just like I would always say, let me put it that way. There will always be light at the end of the tunnel. There will always be light at the end of the tunnel. Let me just believe, just like our Father in the Lord said, that the Jew said at the beginning of the year, look, my children, things are going to get worse. And you know what? We were wondering if at that time things were bad, were terrible, and this man of God who had actually prophesied about it, sometime back, and we're experiencing it, is now coming back to say things are going to get worse before they now begin to get better. And at some point in the course of this year, he had said we should start praying that God will help us shorten the time of this hardship, because if there is another word to describe, this 1 year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if there's another word other than hard and terrible, then we wouldn't need to look for it. And that is just the language and the picture you see all over the place. He can go around saying that, he's bragging about Calabar, Lagos, Coastal Road, and all of those projects that have no meaning to the average Nigerian. I mean, he's saying that he said that it will boost or be how did he even put it? It's gonna be an advantage to about 30 million businesses. And I'm wondering, do we have 30 million businesses in Nigeria? If we have 30 million businesses in Nigeria, we won't be where we are as a nation. That's the truth. If we have 30 million businesses in Nigeria, we won't be here. We won't be here. And you see, there's no doubt that we've always had leadership issues. And where we are today is a proof that we haven't gotten it right. That's the truth. We haven't gotten it right. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo said that 2 out of all the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu were very good, but they were poorly implemented. Poorly implemented. He didn't, I think dig deep into all of that, but there are quite a lot of his policies that were out of place. Starting with the very, very first one. It was a very bad omen for us as prospective citizens who were looking forward to, well, now that Bola Tinubu is the president, even though that was not the person that people, young Nigerians, I mean, some Nigerians we did not even vote for him, and I personally didn't. expect that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will become president, and that's the truth. I wanted Peter Obi, and I know there are quite a lot of people I like that outside there who actually wanted somebody else. Some people wanted, Kwakwanso. Some people wanted Atiku, and there's no doubt about that. We will all have differences in our choices and all of that. But then, now that this is the situation, some of us also believe that there's nothing that happens that God does not know about. And so if this one has happened, then that means he knows about it. And that means he has a plan, with it, and to use this situation to make things better. But the Yorubas have a saying, "Wọ́n ní kàkà kéwé àgbọn dẹ̀, ṣe ló ń lé koko sí." It's sad, but that's the situation that we find ourselves. You are free to drop your comments, make them simple and civil. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said they met Nigeria bleeding, and I'm wondering, he's been part of the system. He said it during his campaign that he was part of the people. He was the one who brought former President Buhari to power, and that one spent 8 years. And so, if Nigeria was bleeding at that time, then how should we describe what is happening today? And so that means they have stopped the bleeding, and should we say the situation is rotten now? Because once bleeding stops, we say, how do we describe the situation now? And a lot of people, get deceived. I've always said something that if you will deceive everybody, don't deceive yourself. You understand? And so if you are dropping a comment, make them simple and civil. This is serious matters where we talk matters, just, we just look at them critically and then we discuss them without insulting anybody and all of that. Of course, let honor be given to whom honor is due, even on this platform. So please drop your comments, make them simple and civil. Nigeria was bleeding when we took over. Now we have stopped the bleeding and we will not allow it to bleed to death. And so what is the situation around you? How will you describe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's statements and his conclusion about the matters? One of the things that come to mind is, does it mean that we are not in the same country? We're actually not in the same country. That's the truth. The politicians are in a world of their own in this country, and yet we, the citizens, are actually in a world of our own. That's the truth. And so, well, let's see how it goes. You are free to drop your comments, make them simple and civil. Let us know what your opinions are. How will you describe, whether you are out of the country or you are here in Nigeria? Please just feel free. Drop your comments. Let's know what your opinions are. And for those of you who have traveled abroad, what's the difference? Yes, I know there will be a vast difference, but then hopes are there hopes. What are we looking at in the next 3 years if we've had it like this in this 1 year? Sometimes I think, sometimes, when I have some very, very deep thoughts, I think, is it like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or is it like the politicians just feel like, let's increase the heats of these things, of these people? I don't know if they regard us as people anyway. If they regard the citizens as people anyway, because even the way some citizens behave, they don't behave like human beings. They behave like animals. And so, sometimes I just say that, well, I think the people deserve the way they are being treated, because people don't behave the way they should behave. People don't behave the way they should behave. That's the truth. And I think that's why somebody will, because of 2,000 naira, sell his vote. You say your vote doesn't count. You say your vote doesn't count. If I say my vote don't count, and 1 million of us say our votes don't count, and I know that's we will have more. Those of you who sell your votes, those of you who do all sort of things, to cast votes for the wrong person or somebody you feel that gave the largest, in fact, those of you who even call yourself delegates, and you go ahead to choose somebody who you know that this person won't serve your purpose. It won't deliver. You understand? So I wonder when these same people now begin to cause, when they begin to see the dividends of what they have sown. How can you plant something and you are not happy with what you get as gain? That's not good. That's not good. What you plant is what you will reap. Yes. Well, this is serious matters here at 2NF TV. Like I would always say, you can't Yeah, I was saying that the people behave in a particular way and they expect that things will just change overnight. That's not true. If 2 million of you who have said that your votes don't count and therefore you sell your vote, if the 2 million of you will vote in the right direction, because I know that for the 2 million of you who actually, if you vote in the right direction, it will be difficult. It will be difficult. Even if elections were rigged, even if elections were rigged, it will be difficult in some quarters. Look at what happened in Lagos. It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. And so all this idea of, oh, he didn't win in Lagos, even in his own Lagos, they only wanted to. It was only a statement. It was only a statement. Well, I I off my mic at this point. That's not to attack anybody. You understand? Elections are gone and all of that. And then we are looking at the developments at this point. So let us know what your opinions are. Thank you very much for watching. This is Serious Matters to TV. God bless you.